All right, the last section on your quiz is section 5, and this is where we were writing equations for lines based on different information. The simplest information I could give you would be to give you a slope and give you a y-intercept of 3, for example, and ask you to write the equation. That's easy. Think about slope-intercept form. All you have to do is plug in the slope that you're given, the y-intercept that you're given, and there's the equation for the line that has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 3. That's not too bad. Let's say instead of giving you a slope and a y-intercept, maybe I give you a slope, and this time I give you an x-intercept instead of a y-intercept. So remember what intercept means. It's the point where the line crosses one of the axes. So the x-intercept is the point, if you think about it on a coordinate plane or on a graph, if the x-intercept is 3, it's the point where the line crosses the x-axis. So the y-coordinate at that point is 0. So although I'm telling you the x-intercept is 3, you can interpret that to mean there's a point on that line and the coordinates of that point are 3, 0. So what do you do if you have a point? Again, let's think about slope-intercept form. If you plug in the slope that I gave you, -1/3, and let's plug in x is 3 and y is 0, because I just figured out that the point 3, 0 should be a solution to my equation. The only thing I don't know is my y-intercept, and I can use this equation that I just wrote to solve for the y-intercept. So -1 plus b equals 0, which means b equals +1. So now I have a slope that was given to me. I just calculated the y-intercept. Now it's easy to write the equation for the line. There's the slope that I was given. There's the y-intercept that I just found. Let's say I could give you almost the exact same problem by giving you a slope and telling you it goes through a certain point. You would do the same thing. You would plug in the slope, you would plug in the x and y point that you know is a solution to the equation. -1 is my slope. I'll plug in 8 for x, 5 for y, and solve that equation for b. So 5 equals -8 plus b. If you add 8 to each side, you figure out that b is 13. Last step, write the equation for the line. There's the slope I was given. There's the y-intercept I just calculated. Not too bad. One thing we actually haven't reviewed, and I'll just generally review it now, are the special case lines, where slope is either 0 or undefined, and we say no slope. So remember we were going over the two special cases are horizontal and vertical lines. And if you're not good at memorizing, I told you guys, just go through the calculations. Let's say I tell you the equation of the line is y equals 2. That means x can be whatever you want it to be. Y has to be 2. X can be anything. Y has to be 2. If I plot those points, oops, 0, 2 is there. 1, 2 is there. -10, 2 is there. So what you would realize is that this equation forms a horizontal line. Now what's the slope of a horizontal line? Let's use our slope formula. Change in y over change in x. I'll just pick these 2 points. It doesn't matter which 2 you pick. Change in y over change in x. 0 divided by anything is just 0. So the slope of any horizontal line is 0. Let me compare that to my other special case, where x equals a number. Maybe I'll have x equaling 2 this time. Same thing, same process I went through. I'm just going to let y be whatever I want. X has to be 2. It could be 2, 0. It could be 2, 4. It doesn't matter. So here's the point 2, 0. Here's the point 2, 4. Whoops. Pretend that's a straight line. X equals 2 forms a vertical line. Well, what's the slope of a vertical line? Use your slope formula. Change in y over change in x. 4 divided by 0 is undefined. That's why we say a vertical line has no slope. It's confusing to think about a slope of 0 and no slope because sometimes students think that means the same thing. They don't mean the same thing. A line that's horizontal has a slope. It happens to be 0, but a line that is vertical has no slope. So keeping that in mind, let's say I told you that there was a line that had a slope of 0 and it went through the point 3, 7. You have to think in your mind, okay, slope of 0, that's one of my special cases. That's the special case where y never changes. The point that this line goes through has a y coordinate of 7. That means y always has to be 7. That is the equation for the line, y equals 7. So those were the two special cases. Almost done. The last type of information I could give you is maybe I could give you 2 points that are on the line and ask you to write the equation. I need a slope and I need a y-intercept. Actually, let me change this point. I don't want to give you the y-intercept. Maybe I'll make this, whatever, 1, 3. Sorry, let me start all over. I don't like making up points because then the numbers always turn out funky. Let's use the points 8, 1 and 1, 8. All right, if I'm writing the equation, I need to know the slope and I need to know the y-intercept. Given the 2 points, I can find the slope by just doing change in y over change in x. And I figure out that the slope of this line is -1. Now, I can pick either point to calculate the y-intercept. It doesn't matter which point. If I plug in the slope that I just calculated, and I plug in the x and y in the point 8, 1, so I'll plug in 8 for x, 1 for y, I'll solve for b. So 1 equals -8 plus b, that means b equals 9. I would have found the same y-intercept even if I had plugged in the other point 1, 8. So now I have a slope that I calculated, a y-intercept that I calculated, and now I can write the equation of the line. Okay, I think that's it for this section. Good luck on your quiz.